Come join me on this crazy adventure, how I find out how food really makes it onto your plate. Now I'm headed out to the Appalachian backcountry to visit Sequachico Farm. Run by Bill and his son Kelsey, the farm specializes in organic and heirloom produce. So I am hoping to knock a couple ingredients off my list. So did you grow up on this farm?
Really, most of what I remember growing up is here, yeah. And so now it's cool that, I'm raising my family with my wife, Ashley, and we have 3 kids.
So this is your kids' farm as well now?
Yeah. It's a pretty good life. We're very lucky.
And what are you selling?
One of the main things we're producing and selling are our pasture-raised eggs. There's been a lot of demand, and it's not just the eggs, but just everything, like knowing where your food comes from and knowing that you can trust that farmer and that they're not spraying herbicides. That's what people want now, so.
Agreed. All right, let's go get some tomatoes over here.
Yeah.
They're looking colorful and gorgeous.
Yeah, I think Kenyatta really likes these striped Roman tomatoes. It has these red and then the green stripes.
Like a painting.
The ones you see at the grocery store have been bred for stability.
Yeah, yeah.
But then you miss the flavor.
We have chef's tomatoes. Now it's on the peppers.
I think these are some poblanos right here. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm excited about these.
I'll take that one.
Poblanos. So
We got our poblanos. Chef's gonna be happy. Now it's corn. What set places like Sequachico Farm apart is their dedication to heirloom varieties. Their unique, flavorful produce has been cherished and passed down through generations. Kelsey is about to introduce me to one such treasure, the Bloody Butcher corn.
I mean, look how big these ears are.
These are huge.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take this guy.
Yeah, take it. Look at that monster. This is the 2nd year that we've saved the seed. Every year that we save it here, it's just gonna keep doing better.
That's pretty.
That's really pretty. Wow.
You guys are growing some magic corn out here.
It's amazing how fast corn evolves and naturalizes to its specific climate.
My goodness. All right.
Cool.
Well, I have the corn. And now it's time to meet up with Bill, Kelsey's father. We're gonna mill some dried corn from last year's harvest. So after you harvest, how long does it dry for and how do you dry it?
It'll be dry when we pick it, pretty much.
And this is in particular for meal.
This is more for flour. Bloody Butcher, it's an old kind of heirloom corn. The Cherokees had it and they passed it on to someone in North Georgia. It's sort of a field corn, it's not like a sweet corn.
The milling process is as old as agriculture. In fact, Bill still uses an antique corn sheller to take the corn kernels off the cob.
I need to really stop and rebuild it, and we got it from some people up in the mountains. Some guy was selling it.
Oh,
There we go.
awesome. Now that we have separated the kernels, we can put them into the mill, where they'll get ground down. Afterwards, I use 2 different size sifters. The finer dust is our cornmeal, and the larger, coarser granules become the grits. I got the cornmeal for Chef. I got the grits for Chef. As well as the tomatoes and the hot peppers.